I'm the Jolly Saver and welcome back to my channel. In this video, I'm going to be talking through my emergency fund figures for November 2023. So just as a bit of a recap, part of my financial plan is that I have easily accessible savings in what I call an emergency fund that I can use when things sort of crop up in life, like, I don't know, repairs in my flat or the worst case scenario of losing my job where I've got a few months of necessary expenses that'll get us through a period of not having an income. So I mentioned on the last video that what I'm trying to do is get in a habit of saving in this emergency fund but not dipping into it each month, so not using it like it's sort of my main bank account. And as we go through November figures, you'll see how I've still struggled with that. So in October 2023, the final balance on my emergency fund was £3,012. So if I start revealing the figures for November, you'll see that there, £3,012. I contributed £439, but then I withdrew £461. You might think, well, why did you contribute £439 originally? And actually, I didn't. What happened was I contributed some money, then I took it out, contributed some more money, took it out, and it was just this cycle. And actually, what happened was, even though I got £11 in interest, because I've got about 4% interest rate on this account, which is great given it's an easy access account, I ended up with less in the emergency fund at the end of the month than I started with, which isn't really great news on my part. What I've decided to do based on what I've observed in my behaviour is that my challenge is to just not touch this money. So this £3,000, just have this sitting in this account. And the only thing hopefully that'll happen in this account will either it'll accrue the interest or I'll maybe add some money in with anything spare I've got left in the month that I want to put in the emergency fund. But my plan, and I document this in another video series, is to buy premium bonds each month with the money that I was setting aside for my emergency fund. The reason for this is because premium bonds are easily accessible still. So, you put money in there and it's the same as this bank account where I can easily take money out, but there's a bit of friction there in that it's slightly harder for us to take money out of premium bonds because I have to sort of log into the online system, request the money to be taken out, and then I think it takes 1 or 2 days. So there'll be less of a temptation for us to dip into premium bonds compared to how easy it is to dip into this account. So my plan is to have this emergency fund to be used in the scenarios where, I don't know, there's a leak in the flat or something breaks in the flat, and we need to get it fixed. And then the premium bonds to be used as an emergency fund in the scenario where I lose my job or my partner loses their job and we need a few months of income to sustain us while looking for new employment. Yeah, so that's the plan with that at the moment. But I've got to be proud of myself that I've got £3,000 in an emergency fund because that represents 3 months of really sort of core living expenses. So if I lost my job, I could survive off £3,000 for 3 months. Um, Cutting everything back, not eating out, not having luxuries, I could definitely live off £3,000 for at least 3 months. So that's great. And I mentioned before, for my mental health side of things, knowing I've got money there as a safety net is really helpful for me, and it helps me not worry about things, um, and worry about the future. Yeah, so that's it from me on the emergency fund this month. Do let us know in the comments below how your emergency fund is doing, where you keep yours. Do you keep yours in premium bonds or is it in a easy access savings account? And I'd be interested to know how many months of living expenses you have in your emergency fund, or whether, some people I know are quite light and they maybe have 1 month. Some people are quite cautious and maybe have 12 months of living expenses in there. So yeah, do let us know in the comments below and I'll see you on the next video.